Okay, I have an interesting clip I'm going to let you listen to. A recent interview of Reggie Miller with Dan Patrick, and Reggie Miller was touching on some interesting stuff. And I think in that one decently short clip, he challenged Michael Jordan to a sit down, and he also took a slight shot at LeBron James, but by a response to a question Dan Patrick gave him. So this is pretty interesting. The clip is not super short. It's about 5 minutes, but you're definitely going to want to listen to the whole thing. And then I'll kind of come back and share some things of my own opinions on what this is and stuff like that. But Reggie Miller mentioning in a sit down with Michael Jordan one-on-one, unscripted, I personally think it would be unbelievably awesome for that to happen. So let me play that clip for you, and I'll be right back.
The next round of interviews with Michael Jordan, I would like for you to do the interview.
Okay, funny you say that. Not that it's like I would love to do it, and this is the premise. We just both walk in a room and sit down. Cameras rolling.
No exchange. No friendly exchange.
None of that. Let's just both walk in, sit down, look at each other, and just go. Whatever comes out, comes out.
I love it.
Look, I want to do it. I'm low man on the totem pole over there at NBC. Right now, we're rolling out these features with the great Mike Tirico, who's done a fabulous job interviewing MJ. But yes, I would love to have an open dialogue, Theodore, with MJ, because there's certain things I would love to talk about.
Revisit. Okay. I'd like to
People act like I don't like MJ. I love MJ. But when you go against a brother for as many years as I did, you built up a certain disdain. Can you say that? Can I say that?
Yeah.
You built up a certain tolerance. And there was always mutual respect. I'm carefully trying to script my words here.
Yeah, you don't want it to get back to Mike. And he said, "What did he say?"
No, look, it's always going to get back to Mike. Mike hears and sees everything. It'll always get back to him.
But
I just want him to know how much I do respect him. But let's just walk in a room together and just talk.
Phil Jackson has a book that's coming out, and it talks about the exchange that you and Mike had, where you were talking trash to him, and then I think Phil says Mike scores like 5 or 6 baskets in a row and saying, don't you ever talk bleep about me or to me again. Is that true?
Unfortunately, it is true, people.
But you were willing to stand up to Mike, and not many guys did.
I had an unfiltered mouth. And maybe it was my upbringing in a military family, being a military brat and getting my butt beat by my older sister and older brothers all the time. I had diarrhea of the mouth, and I just could not stop. And I didn't care who you were or what your accomplishments were. I felt I was always the best player, knowing I wasn't, but you got to have that belief. And he put the fear in a lot of people. And trust me, there was times when I was like, this dude, but I didn't love him, respect him. Damn, I also hated him too. I did.
If he would ask you to join the Bulls, would you have?
Man, stop it. Please stop that.
Like later in your career.
No way. No. There's just no way.
Okay.
There is absolutely no way. And I know people are going to be like, well, yeah, that's why you don't have any rings. Probably so. It's true. Yeah. But I can't do that. That goes against that goes against everything I was taught from Magic and Michael Cooper and that goes against everything.
All right.
If you can't beat them, you just go in the corner and sit down. Just go away then. If you hey, that's it.
What if Magic called you and said, if Magic said, hey, would you like to join?
That's a different story.
Yeah. Now that's different. I'm playing for the Lakers.
Now that's different. That's a little different.
Okay.
I only saw the Lakers twice a year.
All right, I'm running this up the flagpole at NBC. The next time that Tirico is going to sit down, Mike comes in, and then Tirico goes, hey, I got to go. Reggie's going to do the interview.
Oh, my God. The fireworks. Some of the things that would be said, people don't understand. Like, Mike and I and our good friend Jack Haley, God rest his soul, who's looking down on us, smiling, we hope. Like, we used to be locked in a room, playing tonk, talking shit, and just talking basketball. And there were some things that were said in these. It was, trust me, just have them walk in, have me walk in, and just sit down. Just want to look at them.
Do you need to bring the Davis brothers with you if you want that?
Well, he's going to bring Oak with him.
Oh,
so
if he brings Oak.
He's bringing Oak, I'm bringing Dale. All right? We'll let the muscle handle each other out, and then he and I can handle our business.
All right, so we all heard what Reggie Miller had to say. So Reggie Miller appears on Dan Patrick and suggests he would like to interview Michael Jordan himself during those upcoming NBC interviews. I think that's a freaking great idea. If it's unscripted and they would just go at it with Reggie Miller having the mouth on him that he has and Michael Jordan not taking any BS from anybody, that would be so freaking entertaining. That would be unbelievable. And I think it would bring in a lot more attention than these interviews that look like they're going to be pre-recorded. Like that. The live ones would be better. I don't know if it always works out with timing for MJ with his life and what he's dealing with, what he has to take care of and all that stuff. It might not. That's why it's all pre-recorded. Even if it's pre-recorded but unedited with Reggie Miller, that would be freaking sick if that could happen. That would be one of the best interviews with Mike I've ever seen. And I've seen, I think, probably 90% of all of his interviews. Now, he also says he wants to walk in the room, like how he wants to do it. He wants to walk in the room with MJ, just sit down, no prep, no script, and just go at it. Have an open dialogue. So MJ says what he wants, no filter, and then Reggie Miller says what he wants, no filter. That would be incredibly entertaining. He also said he hopes it gets to Michael Jordan, and he knows it will because Jordan sees and hears everything, as he put it. So Mike has got his connections everywhere. If it's spoken about Mike, especially from somebody like Reggie Miller, somebody that played against him, somebody that has a position that's one of the, the great players of the league, then it will get to Michael Jordan. And I'm not surprised by that. But do I think Michael Jordan would agree to that? I don't think so. I think he watches his image too much a little bit. And it's kind of, detrimental to us because I think most of us would love to see that kind of an interview. He also said that a lot of people think that he hates Michael Jordan. He doesn't hate Michael Jordan. And from both sides, from Mike and Reggie Miller himself, he thinks it's mutual respect because they just went at each other. Of course, Reggie Miller wasn't as good as Mike, but Mike saw that Reggie Miller wasn't scared of him and just went at him as hard as he could. And knowing Michael and his character, the same with Kobe Bryant, they had respect for players like that. If those players couldn't measure up to them, fine. But if they gave it their all with Reggie Miller, I think he always did. That was always respected by Michael Jordan and always respected by Kobe Bryant and guys like that. Dan Patrick mentioned the story that was told by Phil Jackson, that Reggie Miller was playing against Michael Jordan. He was trying to trash talk him and things like that. I don't know. There was a story from, I think, Reggie Miller's rookie year or something, or maybe this is a different situation. Maybe this is different during playoffs. I have no idea. But there was something where he was trying to trash talk him. Michael Jordan went on a tear, scored like 5, 6, 7 baskets in a row, and said, you better shut up, don't talk to me, and don't talk bad about me. And Reggie Miller confirmed that that's a true story. He said he was watching his words while mentioning the interview he hopes he can have with Michael Jordan. So he was trying to be careful what he said and how he worded it. And he also mentioned that Michael Jordan, as many people have said in the past, in past interviews, had put a lot of fear in a lot of people in the NBA when he was playing. So not everybody can do that. And people were literally afraid of Mike because Mike was a true assassin on the court. Now, then comes the moment where I think Reggie Miller, in a response to Dan Patrick asking him a question, if he would ever join Michael Jordan on the Bulls, if Michael Jordan asked him to, said that, he would never do it. He would never, ever do it. And it would go against everything the greats like Magic Johnson taught him, what he learned through his upbringing as a basketball player, upbringing as an NBA player. And he would never, ever do that because he wants to beat people, not join them. And I think that was maybe not a direct, but an indirect shot at LeBron James and how he handled his career and his career approach with joining people, winning titles and stuff like that. So I think that was a subtle shot at LeBron there. Now, Reggie also says that if NBC would ever make it possible for Reggie to just sit down and talk to Jordan on camera without any prep, that the entertainment value would be unbelievable, and people are not even able to understand what to expect and what kinds of things might be said during that sit down. And what was funny was he gave an indication that both of those players have a big mouth. Both of those players are crazy trash talkers, Michael Jordan and Reggie Miller. And he said that Jordan would probably have to bring Charles Oakley in to kind of keep them apart. And then if Charles Oakley is brought in by Michael Jordan, then Reggie Miller would have to bring in Dale Davis, one of the Davis brothers that played with Reggie Miller when they had those battles against the Chicago Bulls and stuff like that. So that would be interesting. I think that would be watched by millions and millions of NBA fans, and there would be a possibility of this thing having better ratings than any NBA game this season. Simple as that. So I hope this thing would happen. Dan Patrick said himself that he's going to try to push this up to higher ups at NBC and see if it would be able to get done. But personally, my feeling is it would not, because I think Michael Jordan watches his image a little bit too much. And I don't know if he would just sit down and have an open dialogue, unscripted, unknowing what's going to be asked and what the responses are going to be. So that's a minus, but I might be wrong. Listen, if he might surprise us, and we might see that during the season. If we do, I'm going to be super excited about it, but I'm not holding out hope for it. That's pretty much the way I look at it. Now, what do you think about what Reggie Miller said? Do you think he actually took a slight shot at LeBron James? And do you think this interview with Michael Jordan might ever happen? Though, Dan Patrick said that he knows he has contacts at NBC and he's going to try to bring it up to them and see what happens. So this might they might have a discussion about it, but if it does happen, I don't know. So let me know what you guys think. Comment section is open. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.